Hey, Brandon, Right Stuff Media. So today I'm going to talk about the 4 activities to building a referral network. And a couple weeks ago, before vacation, I told you I was going to do it the next day, and I got busy and I did. So it's been on my mind to have part 2 of relationship marketing, and this is it today. So we're going to talk about 4 different activities. Now, here's the thing that I love about these 4 things is that when you apply these 4 things to start building a network that refers you business, it's because nobody else is doing this. And really, building relationships leads to referrals, and it builds to getting the number one, what I see in my business, the number one referral generator or the lead source for our company is referrals. And it's by somebody else that knows me, that trusts me, and that wants to give me business. And they also know in my network that I would do the same for them. And that's the whole part about referrals. And I think a lot of people don't get this. They don't understand it, or they've tried it and it doesn't work. And this is something where you got to create a system. It's like every morning I get up, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I take a shower. I do the same thing every single morning. That's my routine. Well, building a referral marketing system, it's the same thing. You got to build a routine so you get used to it. You can't do it for a month and then hope to get results, and then if it doesn't happen, then quit. And here's another thing that I also continue to look for is a company that has a sales team that is succeeding. There's so many companies out there that I see that are struggling with building a sales team, and they're just not having any luck. So here's 4 different activities that you can do, and it comes from one of my mentors, Tom Gay, with refer.com. He started off as 22touch.com, and what it is that 22 touches a year. So basically that means every 2 weeks is that you're doing one of these activities. So the first one is a handwritten note. Okay, there's send out cards, but those are printed. I'm talking about a handwritten note with something that's personalized on it and then mailing it to the person. Now, of course, this means that you got to create a, what do you call it? You got to create a, like a Rolodex. You got to have the customer, your referral, your prospect information. You want to have all their information, their mailing address. You want to have their email address. You want to have their phone number. You got to have all that information so that you can use these different activities. So the first one is a handwritten note. And one of the things I would suggest that you do is, because you want to make a name for yourself and you want people to understand what it is that you do, have some stationery, have some cards made with your personal logo or your name or your company's logo. Because then you can just automatically handwrite a note, put it in the envelope, put a stamp on it, and mail it. And you want to do one of these activities every 2 weeks. All right, so here's the second one. The second one is a phone call. Now, we live in a day and age where everybody wants a text, but how about a phone call? Just call a person up and say, "Hey, George, how are you doing? This is Brandon. Hey, it's been a while since we've talked. How's business?" And you're not calling to get business. You're just calling to build upon that relationship that you've started. And a phone call goes a long ways. And if you can make it about the other person, even better. And I think a lot of you know, when you're talking to me on the phone, you'll say, "Brandon, what's going on with you?" And I'll redirect that question back to you and say, "Hey, what's going on in your world?" Because I like to ask questions. I like to hear other people's responses and what's going on in their life. So that's the second thing. First one's handwritten note. Second one's a phone call. Now the third one is a value item. And I think when you think of value item, it's something that is of value to the person. Now, it's not a gift. I got to tell you this. I had a salesperson one time send me these expensive gifts. They were toys, and they kept sending me one every week. And then they thought when they walked in the door that I was automatically going to sign business with them. No, that didn't work. I never used them. A value item is something that correlates to a hobby or an interest of the person that you're building the relationship with. So if you're trying to build a relationship with me, you know I love lacrosse, you know I love hunting, you know all these different things about my life. I love being a dad. Something that would relate to that. And it can be as simple as an email with a link to it. Say, Brandon, hey, did you hear about the size of this elk shot in northern Idaho? Thought you might find this interesting. Boom, send the email. That's a value item. You thought of me about something that I like, and of course, since I like it, I'm going to read it, and I attribute that to you. So that's what a value item is. It can also be a book. It could be whatever. I mean, if you find something at a secondhand store, like a book of someone that somebody knows, hey, that's a great value item. All right, so here's the fourth one, a drop by. Now, this is what I think the majority of people do in relationship marketing. I know I was in a restoration business, and I said, as soon as I wait for the first restoration company to finish talking to the insurance agent, then I go talk to them, and as I'm leaving, there's another insurance company or another restoration company waiting to talk to that insurance agent. I said, I gotta find a different way. There's got to be a different way to generate business and develop relationships. So what we do is these four things. Now, I would do the drop by once every 2 months, because if you're doing 4 activities every 2 weeks, that's really about the 6th or 8th week that you're doing something. So what I would say is that if you want to build a system and you want to develop a relationship, think about it. Every 2 weeks, you would do something like get a phone call or give a phone call, or you send an email through a value item, or you'd write a handwritten note, or you would do a drop by. Those are 4 different activities that you're reaching out to that person in a different way. Because what does everybody else do? They always do the drop by and nothing else. And then they typically will bring donuts or candy. That's not a true relationship. You're trying to buy your business if you're doing something like that. So here's what I would suggest. Set up a system, an Excel spreadsheet with the columns, even a Rolodex, index cards. Write it down, keep moving it, and take your prospect or whoever it is you're trying to develop a relationship with and do one of these activities every 2 weeks. And if for some reason you can't do a drop by because your client's in a different state, then do 3 of them and practice the other 3. I guarantee you if you try this, you will have results. And I'm going to leave you with this. I have a friend. He's very much introverted. And he had to start his business from scratch, and he practiced this process. And now, within 2 years, he has more business than he can handle. And it's because he exactly followed what I just told you. So again, thanks for joining me. If you haven't downloaded my book, Redesigned Experience of Fun, Freedom, and Profit in Your Small Business, go to rightstuffmedia.com. That's with a W. I offer that as a free download. Or you can go to Amazon and buy it for $15. So thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you tomorrow.